in 2019, and we are at capacity. We've been having very real conversations about our limits in Black Rock City, what type of city we want to build, and many conversations through cultural direction setting, which you'll hear about more in a bit later today. So like I said, this is the first time we're doing the symposium like this. So we're winging it as we go along. We hope to maintain the best parts of an in-person symposium, the opportunity to have our community come together and connect, and to learn from each other. So I want to acknowledge first that this is a really unique time in our world. It's added a lot of uncertainty for all of us, and it feels like our lives have changed overnight. I'm supposed to be on a stage in a hotel ballroom, but here I am in my bedroom, so we're making it work. We have adapted the content to the symposium to address the current time that we're in. So while we really want to talk about stuff related to Black Rock City and making Burning Man even better than it already is, we are facing a real possibility that there might not be an event this year. More importantly, we want to keep this event in order for us to come together in a time like this in ways that burners have always come together when the world is on fire. So if you strip away all the spectacle that we create in Black Rock City, and you get to the core of who and what we really are about, we're about the people, we're about the community, and we're about the principles that we try to bring into our everyday lives. So while Burning Man, the event is 1 week out of the year, or maybe a couple weeks for some, our culture and our people are year-round, we're worldwide, and we were built for times like this. So the folks at the Burning Man Project are doing our best to keep this ship afloat in this crazy time. I hope that this symposium can offer all of you some more clarity about how to move forward, some more hope for the future, and again, connection about what we're all capable of doing together. Before we dive into the rest of the day, I wanted to get some gratitude to a few key members who've really been super helpful over the last few months. They've hustled to try to produce an in-person symposium. So I don't know if we're gonna be able to feature them on camera, but I really wanna acknowledge Dr. Dilemma and Candy Ass and Pele. They're members of the camp support team who were meeting almost daily this past, the past 2 months since January to bring together in-person symposium. And we're able to be nimble enough to switch quickly to this format. I also want to thank Devin, who is our technical expert behind the scenes. You probably won't see him on camera. Oh, there he goes. Hi, Devin. He's gonna make sure that, yeah, if we do hit bumps in the road, that you get some nice background music or something to play in the meantime. I also want to thank Stuart Mangrum, our director of the Philosophical Center, who's helped us think about how to craft our whole agenda. And so I also finally want to thank the moderators and speakers of each of the breakout sessions. There was a lot of work we had to do in the last couple of weeks to try to turn the ship around and produce this for you. They're all coming from their bedrooms or living rooms or craft rooms, and really trying to make this work. So thank you all. And thank you everyone that's watching. I think when I started, it was 315 people. Now we're getting at 450 and above. So thank you all for tuning in. We have a full day until about 4:45 with some good breaks. And I'm gonna pass it now and introduce my co-MC, Trippy Longstocking, who many of you recognize and know. She's the Associate Director of the Burning Man Project and my predecessor, the former placement manager. So take it away, Trippy.
Hi, good morning, everybody. Oh my gosh, there's so many folks. It's right now approaching as many folks as we had last year in San Francisco together. So really, really grateful that you're all tuning in from wherever you are. It's a serious pleasure. Welcome to my apartment. This is where I live in Cambridge, Massachusetts these days. And I'm really amazed that we get to be together from all around the world. And we're gonna tune in a second to find out where you're coming from. So I wanna just, quickly turn attention to Mr. Level himself. He got to thank some other people for turning this ship around, but I think he deserves that thanks just as much as everyone else. And I'm just really grateful for all you've done, Level. You deserve that appreciation. You've reconfigured this event. You've pulled today's virtuality, this virtual reality together. So thank you for your amazing leadership. And I just want to quickly go over the schedule for today. You can find an overview of the schedule on the website where you found this Zoom link, the Theme Camp Symposium webpage on burningman.org. So our overall schedule from now, and I'm going to use all Pacific time just to keep it simple. My clock is something different and perhaps yours is too, but let's stick to one time zone. So the schedule will be from 9 to around 11 Pacific time. We're going to be doing plenary here together. We're going to have a 15-minute break around 11 a.m. so you can get up and stretch and grab a snack, go to the washroom, whatever you need. And then we'll continue on after that break until 12:30 p.m. Pacific time at this Zoom link all together. Then we're going to have a 1-hour break from 12:30 to 1:30, and you can have lunch, or for me it'll be dinner, or maybe it's breakfast for you, who knows. And then for the afternoon, we're going to split into 2 rounds of 90-minute breakout sessions. So we'll talk a little bit more about those when we get closer to the end. There will be links for you to choose the breakout that you so would like to go to on that Theme Camp Symposium webpage again. And the symposium will wrap up at 4:45 p.m. Pacific time. So we'll have 2 90-minute breakout sessions, 15-minute break in between, and we'll wrap up around 4:45, 5 p.m. Please do note the Zoom is being recorded. We're going to put it up online as we have for the past symposiums. And so I'm going to turn it back over to Level to give you a little lay of the land of how Zoom's going to work for this, so we all know what we're doing and we have the best possible day.
Awesome, thank you. Smooth transitions, hopefully. So I'm going to tell you how Zoom works, if you don't know already. A few things we want to make sure people do is to have your name in the proper format, just so that we can see each other. This will be primarily for the breakout sessions, but if you have a question or answer that you're looking for, it'll help us with that too. So if you see your own image, you should be able to click on it. There's 3 dots there, and you'll see a menu item called rename. So how we like you to format that is your name. It could be your Ply name or your real name first. Also your camp name right after that. And then your location. So if you're coming from some crazy part of the world, we will get to know that. It looks like people are already doing a lot of chatting. So please use the chat feature to talk to each other. We do have a couple folks paying attention to the chat that are part of the behind the scenes. But really it's a way for you to kind of comment on things that we're talking about, or even trade contact information to carry on these conversations afterwards. And finally, there's also, if you have a question or answer, I see some folks raising your hand or pressing the button that says raise hand. There's a box that says Q&A. That's only for the plenary session. So where it says Q&A, you just want to type in your question there. We have technical moderators that are looking out for that. Trippy and I will be doing that as much as we can too. And some of the questions we'll answer just by typing. If they're just clarifying questions, things about technical issues, we'll try to handle it that way. But if it's a question for a panelist or speaker, we will queue it up so that they are aware that question needs to be answered. So we'll also try to group questions together. So we might dismiss a question that looks a lot like a question someone's already asked, or we'll ask. We're just trying to be cognizant of time. So yeah, just try that out. Be sparing with your Q&A. If your fellow participants in this room can help answer questions too, feel free to rely on chat for that. And finally, if you have bandwidth issues or any trouble, we just highly recommend logging out and then logging back in. That may solve the problem. Unfortunately, we don't have an IT crew waiting on the wings to help you with that. You can go to Zoom. They have a help desk there, and ask them questions if you are finding things funky about your airing time. So finally, this is a really cool feature that we wanted to try out here for some audience engagement. So it is polling, and what it does is real-time polling to see what you guys think. So right now we have 525 people in the room. I'm gonna give you 5 different questions, and show you the real-time answers. We may utilize this at different points throughout the session. So this is just a way to practice. So poll number 1, go. I'm gonna give you guys 20 seconds to respond.
This is fun.
All right, the poll has ended. What do you guys think won? Dogs, cats, both, or neither? All right, I'm gonna share the results. Ta-da! So it looks like dogs won by
10%.
10%.
But
All right,
those
so
are
that
both
was a little bit of a silly one. We're gonna try a couple more polls. Here is the second poll. You also have 20 seconds to fill this out. Which of the 10 principles is most important for your camp? All right, 5 more seconds. 3, 2, 1. Ending the poll. All right. Wow, this is interesting. I don't know what I would have predicted, but here are the answers. Looks like communal effort wins with 26%, followed by participation at 18%, and then radical inclusion at 15%. What's great about this is there isn't one that didn't get a vote. All right, we're gonna move on. There's 3 more questions, so hopefully you're enjoying this polling. Here we go. Which part of the world are you currently in? And I know these options are a little not standard, but I was trying to get all the continents except Antarctica. Canadians, you can select another part of North America. Okay, I'm gonna end the poll now. All right, looks like most people are in the west coast of the US. That kind of works since we're in Pacific time zone.
we got 5 people from the Middle
We
East.
have 2 people from Africa,
Yeah.
1 person from another part of the earth, and no one from Australia. I think it's bedtime in Australia, but they might hop on later on this afternoon. So a few more questions and then we'll finish this out. So while social distancing, which of these things have you done more of? And if you haven't done any of them, don't select anything. All right, I'm gonna end the poll. And the results are, surprise, surprise, we've all been video chatting and conferencing a lot more, just like we're doing right now. So a lot more TV watching, some more cooking, some more sleeping, some more of all the above, just a little bit more dancing, but I'm glad that some people are experiencing that. All right, 2 more questions. This next one is trying to see how much you know about Black Rock City and placement. How many theme camps and villages were placed in Black Rock City in 2019? Guess. Oh, I can see the live results there, like neck and neck. All right, this poll is closing in 2 seconds. The results are, most people think that 1,477 theme camps and villages were placed in 2019. In actuality, the correct answer is 1,196. Good try, everyone.
So you might be
Finally, our last
mistaken it
poll
slightly for the number of placed camps, which is closer
is
to 1477.
about what sector you were last placed in. This will help us know who is in this room from Black Rock City and what camps are there. Oh, interesting. All right, you got 5 more seconds to respond. All right, I'm ending the poll. And the results are 730 sector with the most camps, or most respondents at least. 95 respondents there. A pretty even spread across between 3 to 9. And of course, 2 and 10 o'clock are our smallest sectors because our large scale sound camps are there and they're a smaller part of the city. All right, so that's our polling function. Hope you guys had some fun with that. Thanks for sharing and helping us learn who you are and where you're at. Right now we are at 585 people in the Zoom. So it looks like it's growing. People are still tuning in, hopefully getting their coffee and joining us.